guys, how you doing? This is Manga Section. I'm here today to bring you the review for One Piece Manga chapter 886. Now, before I go into the review, there's some building going on in my house right now. I don't know what time to finish in. Honestly, I couldn't wait. I've got still things to do. So during the review, like now, you'll probably hear some work things going on, but the review shouldn't take too long. So hopefully you guys can bear with it for this just one time, or it might actually go into next week as well. But yeah, just for this one time, I just hope that you can bear with it. So the majority of the chapter is on Oven, one of Big Mom's son. He's out there to get revenge, right the wrongs of Chiffon. Chiffon is Chiffon is essentially a traitor. Traitors shouldn't get away with things like that, even if they're family, in the case of Big Mom and their pirate group. So Oven is here to deal with Chiffon. So the cake comes out, we know the plan already to take the cake out, to finish preparing the cake. Once you give it to Big Mom will have the cake, they go free of charge. So they're taking out the cake now. Brother Oven says, yeah, Pudding, you can pass, but Chiffon is staying here. So Oven is willing to kill Chiffon and essentially attacks Chiffon as well. And now we have this moment of Sanji thinking, should I jump in? If I jump in, XYZ is going to happen, kind of thing. And that kind of took me by surprise, just a little tiny bit, not too much, because we know how, Sanji is the gentleman and the perv. We know that when he sees a lady get attacked, he's the first person to defend them. So to have this moment of him thinking of what to do, kind of out of character, but then again, Sanji has always been the smart, I would say, just probably he's definitely the strategist of the Straw Hats, the thinker. So him thinking before he actually ended up doing anything didn't take me by surprise as well. So we have all of that. Yeah, it's just Oven just trying to get the upper hand of things, trying to use Chiffon as leverage against the fire tank pirates, who are now I think they are at Chocolate Town, Chocolate Island, whatever, which one it is called. So they're there as well. Oven tries to get them to surrender. Capone, being a man for his wife and children and his crew, as he said earlier, he's not surrendering. He is there to get his wife back. And then you'll probably dip out, just forget the Straw Hats. Yeah, later, Straw Hats, peace, kind of vibe going on there. But that's essentially took up the majority of the chapter. Then we had a little bit where we see what Nami and company is going on, what they're doing, and now the most important / interesting thing to come out of their bit of the chapter is when we have Carrot mentioning Chopper, bro, tonight is going to be a full moon. Now there's been this whole Where Minx thing beforehand, and we didn't get to see it within Zao. I forgot the reason why we didn't get to see it in Zao. I can't remember. We didn't get to see it in Zao, but there's been this whole theory of where Minx ever since then, and just the fact that Carrot mentioned it within this chapter, I do believe that when the full moon is displayed, and I don't know if a look at the full moon is required, I do believe something will happen to Carrot at this time. Also, I just had a thought. Based on what Carrot says, it made me kind of get the vibe that she doesn't know about the whole where Minx, whatever you want to call it, transformation that the Minx face when she when they see a full moon. The reason why I say this is because she's like just based on what she says and how she's looking up into the sky, it just really made me think that she's never seen a full moon before, and just based on what she says as well, that she doesn't know about the transformation. So it made it seem that this is all in the talk and the way she's looking up into the sky, that the way she looked to me, it seemed like she'd never seen a full moon before, and she was like happy and like kind of excited to finally see the full moon for the first time. I also feel like it is possible that this is something that the minks keep away from the young, because I don't ever remember being given an age for Carrot, but I reckon she is around Chopper's age, and if I'm not mistaken, Chopper is 17 now. I honestly think that Carrot is 15. I don't know, it's just that number really rings bells to me. So yeah, so I feel like Carrot is 15, and this is something that they wouldn't tell minks until they reach adulthood. Maybe, I don't know. This is also could go into the whole circle, the circle of this whole shift pattern they had, where during certain hours Neko was the leader, and during certain hours the Duke was the leader. Maybe because Carrot was part of the sleeping pattern where she was asleep during the night, she has never seen a full moon before, and therefore, and yeah, like there's a whole lead of factors. It could be a combination of multiple ones of them to why Chopper doesn't know about, I mean not Chopper, why Carrot doesn't know about where the Minx transformation. I feel like that if Carrot did know about the transformation, that her whole conversation with Chopper would have went a little bit more differently. We so in the chapter she says how Chopper, did you know that tonight was going to be a full moon? I feel like if she did know about it, yeah, that if she did know about it, the conversation would have gone something like, "Hey Chopper, did you know that minks get stronger when there is a full moon, or did you know minks get faster, or whatever?" Just no, more of a hint to the fact that she knows what's going to happen to her when she looks into the full moon. And just based on what she said and how she's looking at it, it did get me thinking a couple of ideas, which hopefully I was able to get out get out without being too confusing. If you are confused, comment section, we can talk about it there. So the rest of the chapter is on Luffy talking to Broly, and it's just during this bit of the chapter where he mentions, yeah, Haki has a limit. The more you use it within a battle, the weaker it gets. Blah 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 blah. And he mentions, yeah, this is what he's hoping. No, he doesn't even say that. I think Broly, if I'm remembering correctly, Broly's like, so you're gonna wait for his haki to run out. That's not going to work for you. And Luffy then says, no, I want to beat him when he's at his best. I essentially want to get to his level where I can see the future using haki as well. And now, if it turns out that this is the reason why he beats why he beats Dogtooth, I still think I'm going to count BS as well, but simply because I don't know how long it takes to get to that mastery of observation haki. I feel that Luffy hasn't had enough time to train his haki to that level. He had I forgot how long the time skip was, but basically he had the time skip, and said that he learned the basics of the three different types of haki. And in the SBS, I do believe it was said, no, was it said that he mastered it? I definitely know that his speciality is Conquerors. So out of the three hakis, he's got the most skill with Conquerors haki. So I don't feel like that within this fight he should be able to use like the future aspect of observation haki. However, I will be okay if he does it once within a dire situation. And yeah, that's everything to happen within the chapter. This chapter is setting up some kind of interesting things to come. I think the most interesting thing for me to come possibly is a new form of Carrot. Yeah, because I'm all for, I've been saying it for a while. I want Carrot to join the Straw Hats full time, and especially if they are going to give Carrot a new form that is just more points in the direction of her joining the Straw Hats full time. Also, something that I just remembered that probably there might be something there. There might, there might be something there, there might not be. It was when Chiffon saw her dad, but didn't recognize her. Now, like I said, there might be something there, might not be. I might have just completely forgotten the bit of the series where it was said that they were taken away from their dad from young, so that could be the reason why she doesn't recognize him. But I don't know, like I think I would have remembered that, and Chiffon does mention it at least 2 to 3 times. It was that guy who tried to save me kind of vibe. So yeah, there might be something there, there might not be. Another thing I want to mention is that how Sanji did a feat of speed. Now I don't know how fast you need to be moving to essentially pull off what he did, because he blitzed over to where Oven and Pound were exchanging their blows. Again, I don't know the distance. I can't say it was this speed, whatever. But he did that. Kit Oven jetted over to Chiffon, and then jetted back to the carriage that they're carrying the cake on. And the only people to realize that was Puddin. Puddin saw it all, nosebleed. Chiffon realized she was getting picked up, but she didn't see the kick. Or at least I don't think she did. She didn't see the kick to Oven. So that is an impressive feat of speed, but I can only be so impressed with it because I don't know how fast he was going. But there's just something else, yeah, that I wanted to mention. So I'm going to give this chapter a 3-star rating and call it a review. Like always, guys, must go for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.